reading for you about somebody who was struggling with the emotional uh, connection that they had with you because it was difficult to let somebody actually know who they are or difficult to let somebody actually in. But you did get closer to that than anybody in the past. I do feel like you also handled their difficult emotional approach better than most people. So maybe there were people who felt like they could pick fights or name call, throw, things at the wall to try to get this person to feel those emotions. But instead, I feel like you took a very mature and respectful approach that made this person struggle to justify letting go, or it was a difficult thing for them to try to move on from you. And so this is somebody who's still in love with you, somebody who's still hoping in their heart of hearts that there's going to be a second chance with you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chimes in. And I hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, Nat. Hello, Tiana. How are we doing today? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Famous Seamus. Hello, Jordan. Hello, Aya. How are we doing today? Let's, I think we're going to go with the Ghost Tarot because there's obviously some no contact energy here. And I also feel that this is somebody who probably has a habit or like a pattern where they walk away from those connections because they said you came closer than anyone, right? Well, I might have a little bit of a headache, but I can't leave y'all alone for an entire day. I'm going to try to do 2 readings today, but yeah, it's been a little bit slow moving today. What else do we have? But I hope you are doing well. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the 3 of Cups. So this is a person who doesn't stick with the same partner or doesn't maybe even have friends for the normal amount of time that most people do. I do feel this is someone who kind of looks at it like it's a revolving door. People come into my life, people leave, and that's just how it is. And I'm not going to get like too pressed about it. It's like they wanted to minimize the impact or, convince themselves that they didn't really need to have somebody who was always going to be there or somebody that they could trust for that like long term. I absolutely agree on that one. Actually, I've found a new beverage that I really like that is kind of like fruity hydration. So I have to make sure that that's actually good for me, but I think it is. Can I say hello to everyone? I think so. That might be true. I think I took a day off in November. Maybe even in December, you guys. Yeah, come on now. I don't know. It might have been November. We've got the 3 of Swords in the reverse. Why aren't you heartbroken? That's what this person wants to know. Why are you over there? Everything's fine. It's like I see this person who's been able to be very gracious and considerate and kind. I push them away. They're not mean or rude about it. They just kind of like get it. And now I can't really appreciate anybody else. I don't want that short-term connection. And yet you're over there and you're just like, fine. You're over there working on things that you need to. You're healing from the problems that you encounter or, finding the right path for you. They feel like more than ever that you're the one. And yet they also think that you look at it as this is done. Eight of Swords in the reverse, King of Wands in the reverse, because you saw their angry side, because you saw their cold-hearted side where they were willing to, where the goal seemed to be they wanted to hurt your feelings. They wanted to make you feel small. And that's not cool. Hey, what's up, Hayden? Hello, Dana. How are you doing? Hey, Mark, feel free to clarify. Then we can figure out whether or not we agree. So what else do we have? The Tower in the reverse. They're real confused why, if they were the one that looked at connections with other people as almost disposable, right? Like they come, they go, whatever, that's how it is. And yet you're this loving person who puts a lot of effort into those connections, then why are you over here and like everything's fine? They don't get it. It's like these connections matter to you more than they matter to me, but I'm the one who's heartbroken and you're over here like whistling, you know? Hello, Alana. How are you doing? I don't know what that means, but hello, Silver. Hello, Mike. What else do we have? Six of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords. The difference is, you know that it's not your responsibility to teach someone how to handle their emotions, how to communicate or pursue what they want. You know, the old like, you can lead a horse to water thing. You didn't want all that work. It's like, yeah, I know we could be happy, but like if you don't want to be happy, like I'm not going to convince you. I think whoever I'm reading for, you recognize that this King of Wands in the reverse wasn't willing to be happy in a connection because of the way they looked at emotions or, you know, relationships as kind of fleeting. So you basically made the decision to walk away or be okay with this ending because it was pretty clear that you would have to go to great lengths to get this person on board with approaching the relationship in a respectful way or with, you know, appreciation for what's going on. So maybe they just picked a fight one day and you were like, yeah, you're right. It's probably not going to work out then. And then you just walked away and this person's like, wait, what? No, I was picking that fight so that you would make me feel better about the fact that you're choosing me. So that you would say, look at all these things and here's my argument. You weren't supposed to walk away. I think you know your actual value and you're not going to let a relationship devalue you because somebody doesn't know how to handle their emotions. All right. This is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Shout out to Tiana for the deck. Aww. I feel like that username is disingenuous. How you gonna tell me you're not a troll and then you are? I can't believe him, I guess. Over here. All right. What else do we have? The Empress, the Fool, and the Queen of Presents. There you are again. So you don't have to obviously be a female for this Queen of Pentacles energy, but this is someone who is like, you know what, I really just don't have time to explain to you that if you really want to be in a happy relationship, then you have to be more comfortable with your emotions, right? Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Emily. Hello, Shayna. How we doing? So I feel like this is someone who is saying, I know what I have to offer. I know what I want in return. If that's not going to happen in this relationship, then I guess I have to like really consider whether or not this is where I want to be. And the Fool is about new energy. So I think this is like, I gave you a chance. I told you what needed to happen, or I thought that, you know, like we could bridge that. And then when it didn't happen, I had to reconsider that, well, then I guess I have to go elsewhere where people can understand, or, you know, show they understand the value you bring. The Emperor. The Ace of Potions or Ace of Cups in the reverse. Queen of Candles. Five of Candles, which would be like the Five of Wands. Yeah, I think this person started a fight thinking that it would be one of those times where they could get a little bit of validation. Like, no, of course, I would never do that to you. I just want us to be happy. And instead, it makes it very clear to the Queen of Pentacles that they're dealing with somebody who just wants control, that they're dealing with somebody who is not approaching the connection in a loving manner, but more about like, how can I make sure that everything goes the way that I want it to, right? So I think there's regret. You know, why did I try to start that fight? Why did I try to get validation or confirmation in that way? There's better ways to do it. Six of Presents or Six of Pentacles. The Hanged Man in the reverse. And the King of Needles or King of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. There was a conversation where you were trying to figure out, like, if we talk about this and, you know, I give you an opportunity to clear the air or help me understand a little bit more about why that argument was started, then maybe we could figure it out, right? But this person is stubborn. The King of Wands in the reverse does not feel like cooperating, and that's when the Queen of Pentacles says, okay, that's it then. Adios. I'm glad to hear that, Aya. Let me know if I can pull a few cards for you, or if you have a specific question. Thank you, XO. Hello, James. How are you doing? So, if you are offering someone honest energy and they just try to like start fights or play little games, it's just not worth it. So I feel you've been through this before. This person may remind you of an ex. You may be like, oh, I've been down that street. Thank you. I'm good. Yeah. This is the King of Wands, by the way. And we had the King of Wands in reverse at the beginning. So the ghost has potentially been ghosted. Or the person who runs away, the person who starts arguments to keep people at a distance. Now they're upset because you seem to be really skilled at moving on or keeping them at a distance. They're like, you weren't supposed to block me. You weren't supposed to like run away and never talk to me again. It was just a little fight, right? No, it showed a pattern of how you seek validation in a toxic way, or how you avoid talking about the emotions that you're really experiencing, such as, hey, you know, it's just been a really rough day. I need, you know, some words of affirmation or something. I just need to laugh. I just need to know that, you know, you're my person. No, instead, this person's like, poke, poke, poke. How can I get you to react? And it had bad consequences. Knight of Needles or the Knight of Swords with the Strength card in the reverse. Remember I said he was poking someone? That's pretty perfect, right? Hello, Senorita. How are you doing? Hello, INV. I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, this is a tough lesson for them to realize that games are meant for, well, I shouldn't say that. Look, I love a good board game. This is more so saying that somebody really needs to learn that if you're going to do that kind of approach to a relationship, you're not going to get what you want. You have to be able to ask for what you want, right? Thank you, Nat. Work energy. I got you. And did we get an answer from Aya? No question. Okay. I got you, Aya, for New Year energy. And hello, Bearcat. How are you doing? Should I reach out to an old flame? My used to be, or has that... He said, or has that train sailed? I love it. Or has that ship sailed? I've added that. Thank you, Bearcat. Hello, Whitney. Hello, Mac. How you doing? All right, let's see what else we've got. We need some oracle cards. This is the Path of Shadows. Let's see what is going on in the King of Wands' mind as they get frustrated over you being able to let them go or come across as kind of healed or unbothered. Toad, personal growth, transformation, letting go. They're upset that you can let them go because they thought that they were like the letting go pro. That's kind of funny. They felt like they would be better at that. They thought their cutoff game was strong and that they would be the one who, you know, just got distracted by someone new. We have Siren. As enchanting as it is, the reflection in the water, it can lure your soul to depths where illusions falter. The problem here is we have somebody who is no longer able to believe the illusion or like the reality they've created for themselves, where everything is just like disposable and not a big deal. I don't want anything long term. I would never find anyone. Nope. Now they have to redefine that, and they also have to change their behavior. The problem was they weren't willing to do that, and that's why they lost you. Hey, Jordan. Thank you for the tip. Talking to a new female last night, not gonna lie. Oh, that's awesome. I hope it goes well for you. Let's get some energy on that for you. No problem. Hey, Lemonade, how you doing? Titanic was unsinkable. They did say that. Oh, it does that sometimes. I don't know how it gets complicated if you're... I think it was just like unsubscribing and then resubscribing. Sometimes that would, and then of course turning the notifications back on. Sometimes that would help. But I think pretty much since I started the channel, they've been hit or miss. Hello, Garen. How are you doing? Hello, Holy Ghost. Hello, April. How are you doing? Molly Brown. Now that would have been an interesting person to have dinner with. We've got Pumpkin Patch. You will only taste the sour if you don't seek for the sweet. Share your fruits wisely, lest you sow regrets too deep. I'm not going to continue to offer my loving energy to someone who doesn't know how to handle it, who doesn't know how to accept it. So I've gotten into making candles, right? And at one point, my, should I give some gifts to people with candles, right? And you have to be honest with yourself. Christmas gifts, you can buy people socks, you can get them gift cards, you can get them, fancy chocolates. But if you know that person doesn't like what you're sending them, then it's wasteful. Trying to love someone who doesn't know how to be loved is like sending your Aunt Susie, who's allergic to pears, the Harry and David pear set. Which, if you've never had Harry and David pears, they're really good. You don't want to waste that. Why would you be sending good stuff to someone who's like, I don't know about that, I can't do that. So the Queen of Pentacles took back that energy because you have to share your fruits wisely. Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah, I'm totally talking about pear too. That's perfect. Mummy, between the ancient past and the modern world, is there any place where I belong? A big part of the issue here, as far as not being able to approach a romantic relationship in a mature way, is whether or not this King of Wands in the reverse really knows who they are and feels accepted. I do think this is someone who's had a history of family issues or feeling like the outcast. And in order to keep the people in their inner circle that they have, they are prone to, at some point, doing a little bit of people pleasing. I wonder how much of myself I've lost in others. The pieces that remain, no one can notice. This is part of why they have that approach where they expect it's just kind of a revolving door. People are going to be leaving. I think this person has abandonment issues or insecurity. And in order to protect themselves from feeling like they get rejected from everyone, they try to anticipate that and leave first, or they try to look at everything as, I don't need that. I don't need that at all. I don't need you. I don't need your jokes. Definitely don't need your sugar cookies. Sorry. Hello, Zats. How are you doing? Yes, exactly. What else do we have? This is the Egyptian Tarot. We have the Seven of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. They hid their feelings. They didn't want to be honest about the fact that they fell in love. They didn't want to deal with the potential fallout or the risk. If I try to pursue something serious, there's no way that it's going to actually like work. So I might as well just like mess it up now. I mean, is this someone that you would trust to handle things maturely? Like, not really. We have the Emperor and the Four of Wands. Yeah. See, so you came out initially as the Queen of Pentacles twice, but now you come out as the Emperor twice. Sometimes there are people who are toxic in their effort to keep people at a distance, right? I use silent treatment or ghosting or emotional disruptions to get my way. Versus people who look at a situation and realize that's not where they're meant to be. That's not who they're meant to be dating. And I feel like there's a very clear difference here that the King of Wands in the reverse was trying to protect their heart, but going about it the wrong way, a very manipulative way, and trying to get what they wanted from a relationship without doing the work to be able to handle those emotions. Whereas this Queen of Pentacles Emperor is removing their energy or even blocking this King of Wands in the reverse, because it's like, I see the way you move. I see that what your intentions are don't align with what you said they are, or that you feel really uncomfortable with emotions. And why would I want to be in a relationship with somebody who freaks out over emotions? That'd be like if I hired someone to work in animal control and they are terrified of animals. It's not going to work out, okay? It's just, no. Do you become a surgeon if blood scares you? No. Like, this is, I feel like they are trying to be a little bit, like, equate the two, but it's a different motivation. They didn't want to accept your being a legitimate, like, genuine person, whereas you looked at them and saw that they literally weren't being a genuine person. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. If you don't want to accept the love I have to offer, if you don't know how to return that love, or at least, you know, be open to it, then I will put that love back into myself. I will work on the things that make me happy. I will, you know, dance and eat ice cream in my kitchen, blaring embarrassing music. Like, this is someone who's like, okay, whatever. But with that Three Swords in the reverse at the very beginning, it's this person's looking at you and thinking, if you had those emotions for me, then why aren't you upset? Like, this doesn't make sense. They feel like it's evidence that you never really had emotions for them at all. This is because they don't understand how to process those things. They feel like if you are upset, you should be, you know, yelling and screaming. They feel like if you are sad, you should be posting weird things on social media. You know, like they have kind of an immature viewpoint of what that should look like. Yes, yay for healthy self-love. Hello, Taryn, how are you doing? Hello, Apurva. Hello, Baby Yoda. How's your day? Hello, Hellcat. Hello, Jonathan. How's your day going? Hello, Gem Girl. I will start personal questions in probably about 5 minutes. With priority to those who tip or donate. I do have a list. We've got Aya, Nat, Bearcat, and Jordan. You can also donate memberships if you'd like me to pull a few cards. Hello, how's it going, Baker? Welcome back. So this High Priestess energy is really just saying this person's uncomfortable, or this person's frustrated because you seem to understand your emotions and you seem to do pretty well. You're not perfect, but you seem to do pretty well with like processing those emotions and figuring out what's worth fighting for and what's not. They're mad because you read the temperature right. You realize that in order for something to happen between you and this person, they would have quite a lot of growing up to do, and that's not your responsibility. So all of this is to say this person really does love you, but they're concerned because they feel like if you're not heartbroken at this point, it's because you never really loved me. But how do I say this? Sometimes it's the love that you have for a person that encourages you to stick around in a situation that you otherwise would not, because you really have that faith that someone's going to do the work that they need to. And I feel like it's more like that's what happened, right? I gave you an opportunity. I really wanted you to know how to approach this, but I can't do this for you, kind of thing, right? So we have the Chariot. So you left. Or when they ghosted you, you were like, okay, it is what it is. I will take my lessons with me. But you're not going to let this person completely derail what plans you've got going on or what goals you need to be working on. And that's what they were expecting to see. They are in a little bit of a world of hurt here because they have regrets. When you approach a relationship in a way that is respectful and aligns with your standards and, you know, how you would want to be treated, if that relationship ends, you can walk away from it feeling like, hey, I did what I could. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. But the person or the people who did not do what they should in that relationship are often stuck asking, what would have happened differently if I hadn't done that? If I had actually been good to that person, would I have been able to end up in like a 10 of cups, a really happy, emotional connection? Seven of Cups in the reverse, Queen of Cups. So by refusing to admit their emotions for you and pushing you away, they have now like fully confirmed that they are in love with you and that it's not going to go away. So I do feel like you've basically reached the one that got away status with a person who probably had intended to never have someone who would be viewed that way. Thank you, Apurva. Let me know what your question is when you have a chance. It's a little easier if you include it with the super chat itself. Hello, Joshua. How are you doing? Let's get... what do we want? We're going to go with the situations deck, actually. We'll get a few from here, and then we'll start with those personal questions, okay? Let me write that down real quick. Thinking about Apurva. And does he ever feel me as... like feel your energy? Kind of like a year in review thing. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of people that are going through that, right? Like, how was this year? What could I have done a little bit differently, you know? Hello, Hope. How are you doing? It happens, Key. Yeah, I hope so too. All right, so this person who is upset that you're not heartbroken, they are dealing with some sort of difficult paperwork or legal situation. And when they're meeting someone, possibly a lawyer, I feel like there's a reminder here. So this could even be a divorce lawyer. For some of you, this could be someone who knows they have until a certain date to move out, or they have to, you know, change account setup stuff, but they're getting freaked out over this thing in their life ending. It could even be, okay, so I've got a difficult situation at work. You know, a big client is leaving, and this difficult situation at work is making me think about how things went with this other person. I feel like there's something that just keeps making this King of Wands in the reverse think about the Queen of Pentacles and what could have happened differently if they had chosen to actually heal and work on themselves. But they didn't. So it's ended up being kind of like a reminder that you can lose something really important if you're not willing to understand the value of what you have in your life when you have it in your life, right? Don't want to be one of those people where it's like, oh, I didn't know what I had until it was gone. But that could be what this King of Wands in the reverse is feeling. All right, let us begin the personal questions. We got Aya up first. Wait, did I miss one? I did. Hello, Baker. Thank you for the tip. Asking about a new car. And new to you, at least. I feel that. I mean, that's a real good way to own something that has depreciated a lot, right? New cars, they're really nice. They smell nice, but you get a better value with the used car, right? Hello, TLSS. Thank you for sending positive energy to Baker. Hello, James. Hello, Mark. What's going on? Hello, Unita. I did that again. Hello, Unita. Hello, Third Eye. All right. We've got Aya. What is the energy of the new year? Planning. feel like there's someone who's planning to come back around and you have no idea that this person would want to talk to you again. This is somebody who you would view as very secretive or elusive. They didn't want you to know their business, not even a little bit. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Nine of Cups in the reverse. This is someone who feels like they were being selfish when they interacted with you and they should have invested more with you. So it could actually be pretty aligned to this general reading that I just finished. Hello, Sanja. Thank you for the tip. Communication with Ivan. Is it over? I've added that to the list. Thank you. Yep. All right, so what about this High Priestess in the reverse? Does Aya need to know? This person loves you, but this person doesn't know how to love you. This person sees things differently, but they don't know how to act. This person understands your perspective now, but they feel like it's too late. Because look at how sad. This is the Two of Cups. It should be a happy card, but look at it. It's like, I do love that person, but I don't get to have them. Are they going to communicate? No, I feel like they're going to do something like like a picture on social media versus send a message, you know? Like, I want you to know that I'm over here, but I'm not going to say anything, you know? Yeah. Makes sense that if it is tied to the general reading, because that person came out as a King of Wands in the reverse. That's King of Wands in the reverse energy. All right, let's see what we get for Nat. And Aya, I wish you a happy rest of 2025. Thank you for not being mad at me for saying your name wrong, Unida. Can I blame the headache? What are some affirmations that would serve me right now? I love that question, and I hope I remember to use the Oracle deck that I'm thinking of. All right. So for Nat, what is the energy in the workplace environment, please? What is the current workplace energy? This feels like gossip or people saying negative things. Three of Swords, Page of Wands in the reverse. Temperance and Strength. I'm just curious, do you work with a bunch of like high schoolers? I feel like there's this distinct difference between how you conduct yourself and how others do. Like maybe you're the boss, I don't know. But this is like, you're over here working hard and getting things done, hitting deadlines, whatever it might be. I feel like you've got it like figured out. And there's like haters over here talking crap. Is it jealousy over your success? Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. I feel like there's someone here who looks at you like, oh, you're too big for your britches. You don't deserve that. You don't know what you're doing. I feel like someone wants to make you look bad at work. Like throw you a curveball. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you're good at that, but this isn't gonna like be easy for you. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's like somebody wanted what you have, whether it's like accounts or a promotion or, you know, recognition at a company meeting. There's people who are looking at you like, yeah, that person's like kind of a rock star. And then there's other people over here who are like, no, that person didn't deserve all of that, right? Like you're supposed to be like less than somehow. So this is, I want to cause some chaos for somebody that I'm jealous of. Maybe even give them some wrong advice. Try to make it seem like they're not doing well when they are. I feel like someone wants to lie about you. Make it seem like you're overwhelmed or you don't really know what you're doing, when that seems like a pretty tall order, because there's already some pretty significant like admiration or appreciation for you. So yeah, is this person gonna have any success with this? Really? It's gonna make me get up out of my chair. All right. The Tower and the Reverse. No, this person's not gonna be successful. They want to cause this, right? But it's in the reverse. So yeah, they should do a better job of picking their enemies. Or just, you know, use their energy smarter. Good luck to you on that. Hello, Shabam, how are you doing? Hello, Mysterio. Hello, Erling. How are you doing today? We have Bearcat up next. Should I reach out to an old flame, or has that train sailed? Has that ship sailed? Should Bearcat reach out to an old flame? It's a no for me, dog. No. Because you have the potential here to get caught up in some BS in your past when there's something amazing about to happen for you. You don't want to be distracted by this person who is, well, let's just see. Is this old flame working on themselves? Yes. Look at that. Look at the fade in the background. Isn't that cool? Sorry. I love these cards. So there's been improvement with this person's finances or their job security. You're feeling more independent, more confident. Maybe insecurity was an issue in your connection. I feel like there's a but. Okay. But I feel this person still has a little bit of a wandering eye. Or they might have two exes that they're still hung up on. King of Pentacles in the reverse, Eight of Wands in the reverse. So the like tactile stuff, the job, the living situation, or the finances, I feel like this person's like, I'm feeling good, this is great. But if you dig under the surface, then you're like, did you know all of this is going on over here? It's like when you show up to somebody's house and they have like excellent landscaping, it's been freshly painted, it looks gorgeous, and then you walk in and it's just plastic tubs stacked everywhere, and you're like, this is not home, like comfortable type vibes. So I feel this is someone who's really working on the exterior stuff and not giving the attention to the interior, the like emotional stuff. And who's this other person that's going to show up? Oh, an emperor, you say? Somebody who does have all of their stuff together? So you can choose the person from your past that's already had some issues here. And do I have to mention, like, this can be like a phallic card? Like, I feel like this person is not quite there as far as the emotional maturity. And so then you're not 100% bought in. This person shows up and you're like, oh, that seems like better, you know? Has the ship sailed? No, but this person hasn't changed to the degree that they need to in order to be a good partner. Hey, Tiana, thank you for the tip. Is there anybody you'd like me to pull some cards on? I don't have a name in mind. What are you talking about? Is my ex cat working on himself? Can I add that to your? I think I can. Is my ex cat working on? I've added that for you. Thank you, Unida. And Tiana, you let me know if you want me to pull some cards, right? Nat would like a clarification on the jealousy, if it's a male or a female. Is that what you mean? And then, thank you, April. Advice for guy that you're dating, which was Yubi. Hey, Dan, I make fun of them religiously. Hello, Teresa. How are you doing? Hey, Shabam. I'm a woman, not a girl. Okay. I need to get a different tarot deck, and we've got Jordan up next. This is the Marseille Cat Tarot. So Jordan had a conversation with a new romantic interest. Very excited for you. Is that going to go well? What does Jordan need to know about this? King of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Seven of Swords, and the Emperor. Okay, wait, why the Seven of Swords though? So I like all of this except for that. Ten of Swords in the reverse. Four of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so this is somebody who has a lot going on in terms of their personal growth. I do think they're motivated in being the best version of themselves, and I do feel like divine timing has brought you two together. Whether or not things go well depends on either you or the person you are talking to being honest about something that still needs to be resolved or healed from. In other words, if there's some, attempt to kind of like look better than you are, or if that's what they do, then it kind of like loses its magic. But I feel like this is somebody who knows who they are. I feel like this is someone who's genuine. It's just a matter of making sure that decisions are made in the right time. It kind of feels to me like this is someone who gets excited about you even though they've had some conversations elsewhere, and they need to be able to like wrap those up or communicate that that's not a thing anymore in the right amount of time. And if they don't, then it might cause problems in the connection. That could also be on your end, right? But it's about like, are we going to approach this in a way that I would want someone to approach it from their side, right? I see you visiting something in LA? You're what? Oh no, did I miss hopes? I did not see one from you, Hope. Have y'all seen it? Hope, do you mind taking a screenshot? That'll be an easier way. I can't remember, someone did that, and it makes it a lot easier. But if you can screenshot it, that would help. All right, let me see where I was. We have that, we have that, we have that. So James, I just need to know what the thing is in LA. I could also just ask if you're visiting LA soon. But it seems like you want it to be a little bit more specific. Hey, JDM, I'm going to ask you to please not discuss politics in our live chat. Is everybody else or everywhere else in the world? I think we all need a little bit of an option to not have to deal with that stuff somewhere, right? Family. Okay, got you, James. And hello, Marit. Yeah, I don't see it, but I know YouTube's been acting a little strange since a little software update lately. I just know that was an easy way for me to deal with it. Okay, so I feel like you just, Jordan, want to make sure that you approach this with like being as honest as you can, but also if it feels like it feels like she's not being honest with you, trust that instinct. It's like, this could be amazing, but both people have to be willing to talk about those things, right? Which cards are you talking about? Are you talking about the Marseille Cat Tarot? I think I actually picked these up in a store, didn't I? No, wait. I have to keep track of which ones were gifted to me. This might have been gifted to me. I'm sorry, y'all. My head is not in a great place today with my headache, so it's not working as easily as it normally does. I've got that one, Hope. Comes out for the new year. I don't know what that means. Can you rephrase, Hope? And let me get Dana written down. Thank you, Dana. Does Bond miss me and will I see him soon? I've added that. Thank you, Dana. I'll keep my eyes out on that, okay? And we've got Apurva up next. What is Animal thinking about Apurva? What are Animal's current thoughts about Apurva? Two of Wicks, or the Two of Wands. Nine of Jars. Daydreaming about what it would be like if there were some plans to see each other, but feeling like that would cause too much trouble or be, a lot of work. Feeling like I am overwhelmed, so I feel like this is just kind of like wistful. I wish things could be different. Is this love? No. It's like I want someone to make me feel good, like comfort me. So it's more codependent energy. Is he feeling her energy as the year closes? Is the end of the year making him think of her? Yes. Six of Wands. You're the number one person in their hearts. The problem is, this is somebody who really tries to avoid or ignore those emotions or feelings that they have. So it may just like kind of stay with them. All right. Thank you, Apurva. We've got Baker. When will I get a new car, or will I get a new car soon? I think is how you phrased it. is a new to Baker, new car in the near future. And the next year. There's definitely something blocking it. We've got the Four of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Pentacles, Seven of Cups in the reverse. I feel like you would be able to have this work out if you looked at other avenues. Let's say that, just for like example's sake, you've got a, I don't know, you've got an uncle who works in the automotive industry or at a dealership specifically, and your uncle is keeping track of any, you know, that kind of fit your description and letting you know if any come in. And that's the only way you're going to hear about it. This is like, well, maybe you got like two other uncles that could give you some insight. Maybe you could do some looking online. Maybe you could check the paper. I don't know. There's other ways that you could get the car that I feel are not being considered. So if there's some, like a casting a wider net with this answer change. You need to cast a wider net. Now, could that apply to whether or not you're looking for jobs? Where you're looking for jobs? It could. But this is saying you're too narrow in how you see this happening. You need to accommodate for other possibilities and encourage those possibilities, and then it will go, right? I hope that you don't have too long to wait, and I'm sending you abundant energy, Baker. Hello, Ruhio. How are you doing? What? What's going on, Hope? I don't think they can block your payments or questions. And I highly doubt they would, like, remove them. Hello, how's it going? Oh, I think I just said, oh, Lindsay, how are you doing? So we've got Sanja up next. And I'll go with the Tarot of the Nile. So there's a question with regards to communication between Ivan and Sanja. Is this over forever? Will they ever speak again? Six of Swords. Two of Wands, the Devil. It's a very up in the air coin toss type situation. So tell me about the Six of Swords. There's this fork in the road. Someone has to choose to work on themselves. And I do feel like at this point, that is the more likely solution or outcome. Because I do see this person working on themselves and being introspective with the Five of Wands and the reverse. But there is a risk that this person is going to forget themselves or fall into old ways. Two of Pentacles in the reverse and the Seven of Swords. They may fall into lying to themselves about, you know what, maybe I don't need to do all that work. It's like, to me, looking like, I hate getting gas. Like when I'm on my way to something, I'd rather fill up the gas tank before I leave so that I don't have to worry about things like, well, actually, the last time I got gas, there was actually an issue with like the credit card thing, and then it like took like 5 minutes longer than normal. You know what I mean? Like if you're already worried about the time that it takes to get you somewhere, I feel like this is somebody who they're thinking about how much they need to do in order to get what they want, and there's a possibility of getting caught up in something from the past or doubting themselves. And if they're able to stay ahead of that way of thinking and be a little bit more proactive, or also like kind of like congratulate themselves when they make progress, then I feel like it's very likely that you all speak together or speak to each other again. But as of right now, there's just this little risk that we have somebody who loses that like motivation, I guess is what I would call it. Oh, I got you. Hello, Tinman. Hello, Swati. How are you doing? Hello, Kaiser. So I don't know that it would be soon, but I do feel like there's a good chance of this. It's just someone's got to remain. Well, Ivan has to remain committed, and possibly you too, to that healing. All right, so we've got 2 questions for Unida. We've got what are some hold on. What are some affirmations that would be helpful right now? And I bet Tiana knows what oracle deck I just reached for. Hello, Christina. How are you doing? I am Kaiser. It's going to be a little bit of a longer reading, but that's okay. I do have, after Unite, I've got Tiana, Nat, April, James, Hope, and Dana. Ooh, but did I get Hope's questions? All right, so Unida, we've got, there are people who dislike you because you don't dislike yourself. That's their problem, right? That is their problem. Thank you, Stephanie. I've got your name written down. Oh, I don't think I saw your first one. And I just looked through for the other. I did miss it. Oh, yeah, because I said it. I needed your question, right? There it is. My apologies. What are C's feelings towards me? And how does he feel about our last conversation? And what are his next actions towards me? Thank you. Sorry, y'all. Sometimes it gets a little crazy in here. Hello, James. How are you doing? Happy New Year's, FOF. Hello, how are you doing? Hello, Optimistic. Hello, Sarga. I do. Okay. My apologies, Unida. We still got you going here. What other affirmations do we need? Well, YouTube might get mad, but F what they say. And think twice before you give an F. I feel like there's someone here who's trying to guilt you, and you don't need to worry about that. Gossip dies when it hits wise ears. There are people out there who are too smart to believe the lies, and usually they are like true friends, right? Your growth scares people who don't want to change. I feel like that's the most important one. If you working on yourself and doing right by you and being happy is a problem for other people, they can stay far, far away from you because you're not going to not be happy just so that they feel better about not being happy. Misery loves company, right? Well, I guess they don't get to have your company then. And then is my ex-cat working on himself? Yes. With the 3 of Wands, which is a card that talks about taking action. Do you like how they wanted you to see like the whole butt in that? I don't know who drew these, but I feel like almost all of them. Oh, now I see the ones that are sitting down, so of course no butt for you there. I just feel like there's so many of them where they're like Clearly fixated on it. Now it's like really making me look like I have a problem. Here you go. See? Like, I'm wearing a skirt, but not really. So yes, this person's working on themselves, but there is a lot of work to be done. I do feel like they're approaching a point where it's much like I've gotten a lot crossed off my list. So I would say this is a pretty hefty yes. They are, in fact, working on themselves, which is awesome. Tiana, did you want me to pull some random cards for you? I might give you like 30 seconds to answer and then do it anyway. I feel like I'm eating soup with a fork. Yeah, that happens. That does happen. Maybe you answered me earlier, Tiana, and I didn't listen. Okay, cool. What do we have for Tiana, please? What do we have for Tiana? A Queen of Wands in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. How do I say this respectfully? You got somebody questionable in your energy. The way that I'm seeing it is when you take something out of the dryer and there's like the static electricity. I'm literally seeing somebody who's walking into like a retail store and they don't realize like their underwear is stuck to their pants. You know what I mean? This person is static clinging to you. This person does not want to let go of you. And I feel like you know it's a bad idea. I feel like you're like, no, I'm busy. Prince of Cups or the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Seven of Wands. I feel like you instinctively feel like you have to protect yourself from somebody because you don't believe that their charming ways are reliable. So where there's smoke, there's fire. I feel like you need to trust your gut on having a little bit of distance between you and that person. Because they throw things off kilter for you, and right now you got too much to balance. So they're going to have to wait. They're going to have to get in line. Yes, we're scheduling appointments for September of 2026. You know, this person's going to have to wait. All right, so for Nat, we had the jealous coworker, and I believe you had said you would like to know more about them, but I think you had M versus F. Is this a male coworker of Nat's that is jealous? No, it's the female. I mean, they might both be jealous, but the female is the one that you're trying to like figure out who's the one that's been talked about, right? So I do feel like there's almost like a ringleader kind of energy. This is somebody who's very unhappy in their life, so they get their joy from causing drama or problems for other people. And I do feel like they're about to have the rug pulled out from underneath them. A very significant change in their life that I feel is happening because the universe is like, okay, so since you're so busy like focusing on everybody else's life and judging them, we're going to make you so overwhelmed that you have no choice but to focus on your own things, right? So hopefully that means you don't have to deal with this for too much longer. This is the tarot of the cat people. And we've got for April, we've got an individual with the initials UB. How is the dating going to go? Is there any advice that April needs regarding this person? Six of Pentacles in the reverse, the Lovers, Eight of Swords in the reverse. I feel like this is someone who's going to be very honest and direct with you. I'm not giving to other people. I want to be with you. You're going to feel like you can trust this person Maybe it's a little early for that right now, but I do think you're going to notice a pattern of behavior with them that they want to be reliable. Have the Chariot, the Fool, King of Pentacles. This is someone who's going to show you a different type of energy because this is someone who is stable and confident, but also willing to be bold and take action towards changing situations. So I feel like this person's versatile and, I don't know, kind of like game for anything. But they have these beliefs or these standards that they stick to that are very important. King of Swords in the reverse, the World in the reverse. Is the King of Swords in the reverse? Okay. This is someone in UB's past. The King of Swords in the reverse, Queen of Cups in the reverse. This could be a family connection. This could be an ex. But there is some unfinished business here. I feel like the issue is UB needs to forgive somebody or UB needs to block someone. So it could be an ex who keeps trying to get into UB's life, or this could be kind of like a draining family relationship where it's like, you just need to take a step back. Maybe you can come back to it later, but like at this point, it's just not working, right? So I like that. That seems like this is somebody who's got respect for you. And that's a big deal. We've got James up next. Regarding visiting LA, we've got family out in LA. Will James visit family in LA soon? I don't feel like this is soon, but I do feel like you do it. I feel like it's closer to like summertime. Two of Swords, Six of Cups. Yeah, I'm seeing like June. There's some missing information or struggles as far as making plans that kind of delays what you're looking at. But then I feel like you're able to, you know, make a plan, stick to it, get the time off, whatever it is. But I'm seeing more so like summertime. And I feel like you're going to have some good news to share at that time with the Six of Wands. So, the Nine of Swords, huh? You may be nervous about things, but I think you're going to find that there's like a warmer welcome here than you expect. Okay, so now I'm in trouble because I think Hope put her questions in the chat, but I don't know where. Hope, if you want to retype them, that is awesome, but I also kind of feel bad because I know you've had some issues with this chat here. Nope. Okay, I'm scrolling to the bottom just to make sure. What do you mean you won't ask your questions, James? Did I miss something? Was there more? Oh, that's right. It was kind of strange. I didn't know how to... Okay. We comes out, or WE comes out. And with love, New Jersey, and with my money, maybe, I don't know, I wrote 4 times. I really don't know what that means. Can I just pull some cards on The new year? Is that what we're looking for? Like, is it about like events, like social event? Or maybe about whether or not somebody would be able to travel? Oh, okay. I see. So the WE stands for whatever. That's my bad. Okay, what do we have for New Year's for hope, please? 10 of Wands in the reverse, the High Priestess in the reverse, the Chariot, King of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Cups in the reverse, and a Page of Swords. I feel like there's issues here with people getting places on time, maybe frustrations with like the vehicle or a gas station or something. But it's like I'm irritable because travel is difficult, or I'm irritable because I don't want to park somewhere, or I don't want to see certain people. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is in quite a bad mood, doesn't want to be out and about, and would rather apparently be at home. So I think you're kind of dealing with a little bit of a party pooper, and it's because they deal with some issues along the traveling. Yeah, we have the World and the Strength in the reverse. So I would just say the best thing you could probably do is temper your expectations as to how much energy or how joyful someone's going to be, because I do feel they're quite frustrated over how much they had to deal with on their travels. And so this event or this like celebration, it's less enjoyable for them because they're in a mood. Okay, well, if that's true, then make sure you get some good rest. And then just don't feel guilty if you've had a rough day, you know? These things happen. Wait, let me just see though. Is there anything beyond like the actual like New Year's Day? There's protection here for you regarding a situation where someone makes a decision that's unfair. I feel like this is someone who makes a decision that's unfair regarding you and they don't communicate it. This could be regarding work. This could be regarding your relationship. But I feel like you already have some inkling that this thing could happen. You are protected. So this feels to me like keep faith that something is going to be able to be recovered or improved upon. All right. And then we have Dana. Does Bond miss Dana, and will Dana see him soon? Hey man, if there's someone out there who can get through difficult like travel days like that and not be grumpy, I would give them a high five. I've had some pretty grumpy travel days. Does Bond miss Dana? I feel like Bond is in a bad mood right now, so he's wanting to be away from everyone. 6 of Cups in the reverse, the Star in the reverse, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I think he's real mad. I think he's real upset. So, no, he wants to be alone right now. But it is important for him to be alone. He is learning things. So, I do appreciate that. I still feel like you had other questions, James, but if I'm wrong, let me know. Either way, I'm happy to add more to the list if you'd like me to. Thank you for the tip. And we've also got, will Dana see Bond soon? Not soon. I do feel like he's going to be rather selfish with his time. I don't think he really wants to see very many people at all, to be honest. But I do feel like he's also upset with you. 3 of Wands in the reverse. He feels like there's something here that you should not have done. I don't know if that's just like trying to make it seem like something is your fault. Because there's definitely a lot of like processing happening, trying to figure things out. You know, could be open for some issues. All right, sounds good, James. Have a good day, April. For Stephanie, we've got, what are C's feelings towards me? How does C feel towards Stephanie right now? 10 of Cups in the reverse. The Wheel. 3 of Swords. This is like, I feel like everything's off track, or I feel like everything's changed, or I don't know if I can trust you, or I don't know if you trust me. So there's heartbreak here with the 3 of Swords. How does he feel about the last conversation with Stephanie? Two of Swords, Tower in the reverse. Like nothing's going to change. That maybe you've already made a decision that C is not good enough for you. 10 of Wands, Knight of Wands. I feel like there was an angry reaction here. Like, well, fine then. F you too. But with the 8 of Wands, I feel like there's this like kind of rapid change. Like 1 second I'm mad, the next I'm like, oh, maybe I should just like chill a little bit. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse, Ace of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel there's a lot of indecisive energy here, back and forth, changing, like emotional, highly emotional. But wondering if there's a way for things to get back to like calm, chill. What are C's next actions towards Stephanie? Six of Wands, Nine of Swords, 5 of Swords. Fumbling an opportunity to make things right. So this could be like a not very sincere apology, or somebody who starts an argument right after you guys, you know, repair things. This person's got a lot of emotions they need to work through. But the 5 of Swords, to me, is screaming that this person has a lot of self-sabotage patterns in their behavior that need to be unlearned before they can be in a happy relationship. So I hope they can process that and treat you better. All right, I'm going to leave it there. This is quite a long reading. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.